Hey man, you know who it is? It's me. It's Waffle. And if you have clicked this video, you are in for the treat of listening to me talk for 20 minutes. I hope you're excited, because I've had this sitting on my computer for like a month. I sat down to do it, and I realized that 20 minutes is a very long time to just sit down and talk for. And so, I don't know how this is gonna go. I don't know if I'm gonna get through it this time, you know, it's difficult to talk, is what I'm trying to say. And originally, I wanted to just talk about metagame, but like differences between pre-renewal and renewal in RO, because no one seems to know anything about renewal. People just like, they're like, oh yeah, renewal, it's shit, and you just take a big shit on it, you know? And renewal has apparently changed so much. Like, I wasn't around for when renewal was even more broken than it is, and I think it's unfair to say that renewal is broken. It gives everyone a bad idea about it right from the bat. Like, no one knows anything about renewal, and then you come in saying that it's broken. Who's gonna want to try it? I mean, like, Ragnarok's already broken enough, so if a new version of Ragnarok is made that's deemed broken, they're gonna be like, well, so what? What does that mean? What does it mean for it to be broken? And I'm trying to give you somewhat of an idea of what it means right here. It means I can tank a whole guild, vacuum and crystallize a bunch of people, and walk off. I don't know. Do you know what any of that stuff means? Probably not. You know, it's... So maybe I should actually just talk. I'll let the renewal gameplay speak for itself, and just talk about pre-renewal. And you can come to a conclusion as to whether you like renewal or not after I'm done talking, and hopefully I'll actually get some talking on topic done. It's already been 2 minutes and all I've done is, like, say nothing at all. I mean, you could skip to this part in the video and you will have missed nothing. You know, whatever. I have my hands up right now, but you can't see that. In pre-renewal, I could basically name off an entire optimized roster for the guild, and, like, you know, it's been a while since I've played pre-renewal. But you're looking like 3 DD chems, DLP, 2 frontline profs, maybe 3 Bragi, 3 SPP, 3 paladins, 1 sniper, a priest, 1 gypsy, 1 clown, maybe more clowns if you want tarot clowns out the front, linker, MBK prof, MBK paladin, maybe MBK champ to equal in the MBK guild. And what else? Am I missing anything? Stalker, maybe, if you want to do that, but no one does. Champ equaler, maybe, but people tend to just equal on prof instead. Like, just named off a whole roster right there. Whatever. That's just how it works. But I can't do that in renewal. Every class has like a role. If I go up to like a pre-renewal guild and I'm like, hey man, I want to play Lord Knight, they're gonna like block me. They're gonna get the they're gonna tell the head GM that I wanted to play Lord Knight in WoE, and I'll get like IP banned from the server. But in renewal, of the main classes, the 3132 whatever, of all those, I can't think of a single class that does not have a place in WoE. Kagero and Obero, the extended ninja, is questionable. It's a very, very niche class, and Rebellion is good luck playing Rebel. Like, I think it has missing potential on Nova. I can't really speak for servers that aren't Nova, but the only Rebel I see in WoE here, like, auto attacks with revolvers. And it's like, good job. Good job. So, the other thing in pre-renewal is, it was more about your positioning than anything else. Positioning was by far the most important thing in pre-renewal, because almost every class, excluding Prof and Champion, basically every class was, you press one button, you turn AHK on, and I think I had sound on there before when Min got crush striked and lived with no health, whatever. I didn't. But that was probably meant to be funny when I edited this like a month ago. Now I've lost my train of thought. Good, good, I didn't want to have any sort of structure in what I was talking about. That's why I didn't bother with the fucking dot points this time, you know? Dot points, they just lead me into fucking Pakistan where I get blown up. With this music playing. Very appropriate, also very contextually insensitive. Just like what I think I go do to this ranger in a second. I don't know, Ragnarok's very difficult. You know, he runs over there and I go, nope, nope, apparently I don't. I could swear I made an enemy out of the Unlimit Rangers, where I'd chase them halfway across the castle to dispel Unlimit because they can't one-shot me, but you know, whatever. Whatever! Everything is too difficult. I completely lost track of what I was talking about, but I have like 15 minutes to make up for it. Are you having fun yet? Because I'm not. In Pre-Renewal, everything's about positioning. And most classes, with the exception of things like Professor, where you have to manage your ground skills as you play, Champion, which needs to keep an open mind about what's going on, Priest, which has to constantly buff spam and maybe status recovery, weird classes, like I think Sniper can't run stun immune. And what else is there? Gypsy is completely exempt from everything I'm about to say because of how the class works. But it's all about where you're standing at any time. Everyone stands in a little neat square. If you stand outside the square, you are bad. And the professors lead the pack, they dispel people, and then when whoever's profs dies first, they lose most of the time. Because then the profs that aren't dead can run forward, OLP, meteors come down. It's like a process, it's like a factory line. And it's all about who optimizes their gameplay the most. And this Renewal video is at a really good and bad part to demonstrate that Renewal is not like that. Because as you can see, everyone's fairly grouped up, but... Oh, here we go. I gotta stop for this. I safety wall myself. Here comes Turbo. Self-destruct. I safety wall. And then I die. Good. Safety wall blocks that skill, but you know, whatever, thanks Australia. But that, right there, self-destruct, probably the second biggest reason why you can't group in Renewal. Because a mechanic will run into you, press that button, your guild is wiped. Just like that, done. Has a 5-minute cooldown, don't matter, your guild is dead. It's blocked by Hide, safety wall, probably Calp, no one uses Calp. Soul Linkers are stuck at 99, no one's got time for that. But the biggest reason is Cursed Circle. You remember Blade Stop, a champion skill. Well, Shurers can press a button, and everyone in I think 7x7 around them is just Blade Stopped. Just like that. So if you group up like you did in Pre-Renewal, you will have a single Shurer snap into your mob, Cursed Circle, the whole guild is frozen. Nothing you can do about it. So in Renewal, you want a little bit of difference, a little bit of distance. Just enough to keep compatible with each other. And to benefit from each other's buffs and have presence as a group, not as one player. And so the way we do that in Laser Shark Surgery is we have mechanics with neutral field, 2 packs, so it takes 2 Shurers to shut us down instead of 1. It's economics, probably. I don't know, I didn't do marketing, I did like fucking other stuff at university, and then I left, now I cook. Probably. And now to go back to what I was talking about in Pre-Renewal before, about it all being about your positioning. Because every class has like one skill that it mashes all the time. With exceptions, like I think I started by saying like Prof and Champ, Priest. They're not like... I was about to say not a one-button wonder class, but then it's like, oh, Prof's just dispels, Champion just fucking Azuras, you know. But what I mean is SPP, like, Creator is dedicated to 2 different builds based on spamming 1 button each. One of them spams AD, one of them spams SPP. That's it, that's the difference. And in Renewal, you have the stat and gear variety, or not really the variety, but the power you have with your stats and gear lets Genetic do both. Genetic just... Same with Sorcerer, actually. Like, if I really wanted to be a tryhard, I could use, like, a snake skin, temporal int boots, skull hat, whatever, and just go full magic damage. But you don't need to, because if I crystallize and swap to a Velamark wand, I can drop my AoEs and kill pretty much anyone if they're in there for the full duration. Like, it don't matter. Lots of builds in Renewal get to hybrid, just naturally. And you don't in Pre-Renewal. You are fixed into what you're doing. If you're a DD Chem, you run like 99 int, Agi... No, int, dex, and then 24 agility. What the fuck am I talking about? If you're an SPP, you don't need the int. You want stun immune instead. You know? That's the difference. Paladin just mashes Devo all the time. DLP just mashes LP all the time. The Clown spends all their time just flashing their songs. They don't do that in Renewal. The Clown has other things like Sirens, Tarot is a bit more viable. Poem of the Netherworld is a really good snare. Harmonize is a crippling debuff. Everyone has more to do, and there's a lot more focus on individual skill. And I feel like as soon as you get like to where you're talking about skill in Ragnarok, people are just gonna shit on you. Like, oh no, it doesn't require skill. Like a Rune Knight just mashes Dragon Breath, everyone dies. But like even that is different because you have your rune buffs to manage and shit as well. But Rune Knight is probably the closest thing to a one-button wonder in Renewal. Because like you might think, well, all Genetic does is Hell's Plant, but then they have other things like Thorn Trap, Crazy Weed. They get their Homunculus, which actually does stuff in Renewal, you know? Howling Mandragora, all that shit. And now I've hit a blank, because I have no idea what to talk about. I have, like, 5 videos, I think, to edit. Like, I have a Warlock video from, like, half a month ago that is half-edited. It's, like, Discord chat with me and the guys in Gods of War. Like, all I have to do is edit it. It'll take, like, an hour. I haven't done it because I'm really lazy. You know, like I get up really late, I go to work, I come home, and I go to bed because I can't be bothered doing anything. That's all I do. Life is hard. Very difficult. That's not going to sync up properly when I put this audio in. I really have absolutely nothing to talk about. I'm going to play Rune Knight this week, I think. I can talk about that. The thing with Rune Knight is that Dragon's Breath does damage based on your current health. And like exactly what it is. Not a percent value, it's like if you have 80,000 health, it deals damage based on the fact that you have 80,000 health, which is different to 70,000 or 7. So like you've got to keep it full health for maximum damage potential, you know? Actually, I know what I can talk about. I started talking about it in that Pre-Renewal. You've got classes that just do not have a role. They can't do anything. You know, like I said that Stalker is kind of a niche. You can run that. But, you could just have more wizards. Not really much point. And like I said, Lord Knight, Whitesmith, Ninja Gunslinger, Champion to a certain extent, they just don't have roles in Pre-Renewal. Not in the fucking turtle meta that is now the standard. No, I've seen like videos of woes back from like 2008, 2007, where like Synexes get to just run wild and kill everyone because there's no formation. And that's different now, because there is formation. But in Renewal, for example, Rune Knight gets Dragon Breath, which is one of the most powerful AoE DPS skills in the game. Mechanic gets Neutral Field, which, that yellow thing you can see up in the top right, he just walked off screen. Everyone in that yellow field is in Numa. It follows you. It's just a Numa that follows you. They get Self-Destruct, which is just like, I think it's a 9x9 AoE, and if you get hit by it, you're pretty much dead. And Arms Cannon, which used to ignore Demi-Human Resist and be good, now it doesn't, and it's not. Shadow Chaser gets the most bullshit debuffs in the entire game, where they can take your weapon and shield off even if you have FCP, they can disable skill usage for 20 seconds, they can put everyone in a hole. I just dodged Self-Destruct because all I do is spam Hide. That's the only skill I use in WoE, I just use Hide. I just lost my train of thought again. Guillotine Cross arguably has the lowest importance in a roster in Renewal. And that guy used Soulburn. What a dickhead. Because your damage just isn't high enough. Although, lately I've been seeing people use Rolling Cutter to some level of success. Like, people were all like, oh no, you can't kill with Rolling Cutter. Who's gonna stand next to you for like the half a second it takes for it to kill you? So, disregard what I just said. GX can be pretty good. I think everyone just got blinded by the +9 Oni horns that you can get if you spend $600. And, you know, whatever. Whatever. Obviously, there are still classes that are very important. Some classes are better than others, like particularly genetic has a lot going for it, mainly that it gets to be one of the best damage dealers in the game and wear full resist gear while doing it, that's totally fair. You know, like other damage dealers have to deal with the fact that they have to use like temporal set and actually take damage from things that hit them, but then like genetic just doesn't. You know, like my Sork takes no damage from anything that hits it, and genetic gets to do that too, only that also deals damage. Like, to give you an example, my Sorcerer takes like 4 or 5k from Dragon Breath. The same person doing Dragon Breath to my Shura does over 20k. Like, you know, whatever. Maybe I'm bad, maybe I should just swap WoE Boots and WoE Muffler, but that sounds hard. I have to press buttons when I could instead just flash combo someone, you know. Life is too difficult to worry about these things. Anyway, I think I'm actually starting to run out of time, so I'm going to start wrapping this up now instead of later, and have no time to actually talk about anything. You know, because that's important. Everyone needs a little bit of closure, including me. Anyway, Renewal is cool. That's not my summary, I just lost my train of thought again. Renewal is cool because I think it breathes new life into RO, especially into WoE. It's pretty hectic to start with. You know, you have Rune Knights running around doing 40,000 damage with an auto attack. But like, in a way, it's like you're going back in time to when there was no real metagame in Pre-Renewal, where you could just play whatever you want, run around in WoE, you'd be in some Zerg guild of like 40 people, and like, I can play CT Smith, and that's okay. No one's gonna question me. You know, everything has a bit of a place. No one really knows how to gear. Like in Pre-Renewal, your stats and your gears are set. But with Renewal, your stats they matter, but there's nothing that's particularly optimal for every class. And gear is interchangeable. I know a lot of sorcerers like to run instant cast with their gear and get more stats. I rather not die, and I get actual resist gear and run instant cast anyway, because you don't need stats on Sork. Don't matter, none of that matters. But that's just what I'm saying. You can have preferences in your gear, and it's not going to really affect your playing on the same level as it would in Pre-Renewal. And there's a lot of random chance involved with your gear as well, which is sort of unfortunate. Like, you have the hero rings that you've got to enchant multiple times. My combat knife has like +3 dex and +5 int on it, which was enchanted multiple times. Now my throat's starting to get dry, because I've been talking for nearly 20 minutes, and I was dumb, didn't get a drink. And I have homework to do as well. I have like 3 assignments on my bed next to me. It's like, I could do them, or I could talk about video games for 20 minutes. And, you know, I've got class in like, how do I do math? 16 hours. Maybe I'll do those. Probably not, I'm dead. What a hero. Look at that spin. I really thought that'd take me up to the end of the video, but it didn't. So now I really don't know what to talk about. I didn't have as much to talk about as I thought. This was happened last time. I tried to record this. I talked for like 5 minutes. I was like, oh, metagame is not as big as a topic as I thought. Huh. I'm just going to sit here and marvel at my Sorcerer not dying, along with everyone else who's not dying, including the Warlock who has no resist gear on, so I should shut up. I'm not even sure who owns the castle right here. I'm going to assume it's us, because I'm diamond dusting the Imp. Yeah, it's us. Okay, that's good. It's good. Now I know. Now I know. If it's worth talking about at all, I have a few more videos planned. You know, I've got some stuff I want to record with the emulator, the PS1 emulator. Yeah, that could be fun. I have that Warlock video, that could be fun. I want to do something for a channel trailer as well, with like a, or at least just sit down and like record myself watching my old videos, maybe highlights or something. I don't know, that sounds really boring actually. Maybe that's a bad idea. See, it's a good thing that I talk about these things. If I hadn't talked about that, I might have sat down and recorded myself watching every single one of my old videos. And then I'd go to edit it and I'd be like, this was a pretty big waste of time. Now I know. Can this end already? I am seriously so bored. I have no idea what to talk about. At all. This is pretty disgusting though. I can stand here and hold off the whole guild. And I don't die, because I'm a Sork, and Sork doesn't die. I think we actually lose the castle, don't we? Maybe? Maybe? Yes. And then I just cut off the footage. We lose. Good job.